1 p.m. Eastern, Buffalo Bills 1-1, 0-1 on the road at the Washington Commanders, 2-0, 1-0 at home. We're at FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. 68 Fahrenheit. Showers at this point. Showers. We got to keep an eye on it. 12 miles per hour is the wind. And this spread is sitting at 6.5 for these Buffalo Bills. Opened up at 6, moved to 6.5, half-point move towards these Bills. And from a total perspective here, we have it sitting at 45. There is 44s at other books, 44 minus 110 at BetChris and Bookmaker. We know that's a trusted company there. This has gone from 46 to 45. That 45 is minus 119, so it's really a 44.5 here. The Buffalo Bills come in off a dominant 38-10 victory at home over the Raiders. I think that the Kansas City Chiefs are in the exact same position this week that the Bills were in last week. And I look forward to getting to that game. I've not bet anything before the show started. I prefer to do that so I can talk it out and have confidence. The Bills improved to 13-4 in games following a loss since 2019. Allen was 31 of 37 for 274 yards and 3 touchdowns. Gabe Davis caught 6 for 92 and a touchdown. Stephon Diggs caught 7 for 66. James Cook was a monster. 17 carries, 123 yards. That's the most by a Bills running back since Shady McCoy had 156 in December 2017. He also caught 4 passes for 36 yards, and that allowed the Bills to dominate time of possession. 40 minutes and 4 seconds they had the ball compared to 19:56 for the Raiders. They entered the red zone 7 times. So they had 9 drives. 9 drives, and 7 of them end up in the red zone. 5 of them end up in the end zone. They didn't get much pressure on Jimmy G, but they didn't need to. And no sacks, 2 quarterback hits, but they held the Raiders to just 13 first downs and 240 total yards. They completely shut down the run game. Last year's NFL rush leader, Josh Jacobs, they held him to a career worst -2 yards on 9 carries. -2 on 9 carries. That's the first time since the NFL's merger that the league's defending rushing champion finished with negative yardage. Raiders were 1-2 in the red zone. Matt Milano had the second interception in as many games. Terrell Bernard also had one. Damar Hamlin, healthy and active for the second straight week. You know, everybody curious as to what's going on there. Wanted to see him on the field. Micah Hyde injured his hamstring. Leonard Floyd hurt his ankle. McDermott today said that both players are day-to-day. So that gives hope that they could be available here on Sunday. The Bills haven't had any players miss a game this season due to injuries. They've been very healthy. So if Floyd's forced to miss the game, you know, Shaq Lawson will play a bigger role. And if Hyde's ruled out, Taylor Rapp will play a bigger role. You know, this is a deep, healthy team right now, but we know it's a real aging group, especially on defense, and things can change in a hurry. Commanders are off to their first 2-0 start since 2011. Sam Howell looked very good, 27 of 39 for 299 yards, 2 touchdowns. 10 different Commanders caught passes. Scary Terry caught 5 for 54 and a touchdown. Brian Robertson Jr., 18 carries for 87 yards, 2 touchdowns, caught 2 for 42. Held on to the ball for 33-45. They look good. You know, after allowing those first 3 touchdowns, their defense strengthened. I mean, they outscored the Bills at that point, 33-3? Oh, sorry, the Bills, the Broncos 33-3. They held the Broncos to 2 of 4 in the red zone, 7 sacks, 14 quarterback hits. Chase Young made his awaited return. He had a sack and a half. Manuel Forbes had a pick. And then Logan Thomas is in concussion protocol. He took the hit from Kareem Jackson. Jacoby Myers also remains in concussion protocol from the hit he took from Jackson in week 1. That also warranted an ejection. So there's a thought that maybe he gets suspended here. With Logan Thomas in concussion protocol, we're not sure if he'll be available. Take it away for us here, Troy. Bills, Commanders.
So with this game, I find it very interesting because, you know, the Commanders, I mean, they force offenses into dangerous situations constantly with the pressure they apply. They force 7 sacks, 8 poor throws from Russell Wilson. And they forced Joshua Dobbs to check down pretty much every play. I mean, I think he completed 21 passes for like 120 yards or something along those lines against the Commanders. And we know what Josh Allen's MO is that when you put him in those situations, those stressful situations, he doesn't tend to make the right decision. So I'm very concerned with the Bills on the offensive side and Josh Allen. I mean, this is going to be a real test for him. Is he going to take a leap of faith and fucking to let his personality get the best of him, like I talked about before, and take all these risks downfield to try to be something you can't be when the defense, you got to take what the defense gives you. And he just doesn't do that on a consistent basis. And I think the Commanders might be able to capitalize on that in this spot. So that's kind of how I'm thinking about this game. But the more and more I looked at the Commanders and wanted the Commanders, I mean, how could you get behind not only Sam Howell? I think he may not be very good, but I feel like he protects the ball. He won't throw a pick, but he'll take 10 sacks. I think he leads the league in sacks taken so far. So yeah, take that for what it is. I mean, the problem is when you start looking at the Bills and you're looking at the spread, when the Bills win, they don't win by 3-4 points. They win by margin. They blow teams out. You start putting some of this stuff in the database and you start, running some queries on Killer Sports. I'm seeing a 4-1 spot for the Bills and a 4-6 spot for the Washington Commanders. So, last week I went against my trends in some of these spots, and this is just a tough game for me because I really think the Commanders could create some havoc and force Josh Allen into his old self, right? Who is he? I think he showed us who he is. He's shown us who he is over the years. And that's a guy that's going to take some chances, probably turn the ball over multiple times potentially. And if that's the case, Commanders at home getting almost a touchdown looks like a bargain.
Is it the weather that's dropping this total?
I haven't looked much at the weather or a lot of totals yet, man. Still a lot of work to do.
Sky Dragon said in the past 5 years, Washington falls down 21-3, they're done. That was wildly impressive from Howell figuring it out. This is the total that just made no sense to me. Yes, I mean, it's supposed to be showers, but it just made no sense to me. I feel like there's going to be points. Let's just take one look at AccuWeather right now. Here, I know this is a Tuesday, but it just makes no sense. So right now it has showers, but it's just a chance of showers like halfway through the game. So if we go to AccuWeather only give us the next 3 days. So, I mean, it's very possible that there's no rain in this spot. So I don't. These two teams at this point, what we've seen from Washington, they come together. There's going to be more than 24 or 44 points scored. I just.
I mean, and to me, it just looks like a spot where you'd want to fade the Commanders as well, coming off that huge, massive comeback on the road. They're 2-0, fat and happy. Fuck, this is a tough game. It really is. And I'm kind of pissed at myself because I wanted the Bills. We talked about the Bills. I know you got on the team total. I was really heavily leaning towards the spread. Didn't get there. And, I regret that.
Oh, I wish that was a triple up spot here. Sky Dragon on Washington plus 6.5 for the over 44.5 says, not that I love it, but he bet it. And here, I mean, look at, like, if we just go to the Washington team total, now it's 20.5. The over's at plus 126. So that's not a good example. And they're not giving you an alternate line, but basically it's 19.5. Brady says Washington is Philly next week, don't they? Bad scheduling spot for Washington. Just too many factors to get enrolled here, in his opinion. Yeah. This is another total that makes no sense to me, and then I'm nervous about going up against these market moves, and it just doesn't make sense. As I tracked my action over the years, going up against these totals I had a negative ROI. So, but this one, I completely want to. This was the one that made no sense to me at all. I was shocked that this wasn't a 46.5 or a 47. It just felt like a 47 to me. All right. So nothing at this point, but I'm certainly looking at the over. This is a spreadsheet spot on Washington, says Ron Crawford. I mean, why wouldn't the Washington Commanders be able to keep this within 6.5? Especially, I mean, this is the Bills feeling good about themselves. They dominate the Raiders. Now they go out on the road, and the Commanders' offense believes in themselves.
And the Bills' defense is not looking as strong as it has been in the past. It looks susceptible to the run. Their pass rushes per PFF is ranked 24th, coverage 19th.
80% of the tickets, 90% of the cash on the Buffalo Bills. And that is a spot that you fade. That is a spot that you fade. 71% of tickets, 87% cash on the over, and it's dropping. I mean, that makes me not want to bet the over. But, God, it just feels like the Commanders can keep this within 6.5. It really
If this
does.
number drops to 6, I will probably be on the Commanders money line. This is a that goes back to the database plays that I made in week 1 with the Bucks and the Vikings. If this falls to 6, I'm going to grab the money line. If it's close, and this is going to be up against Sunday, right? I mean, I'm going to wait down. I'm going to let this market develop, right? Because I'm not trying to beat the line. I'm trying to bet a trend that says if a total opens where it did and closes below at 6 or below 6 to take the dog on the money line. So that's what I'm going to be looking to do.
I'm right with you. I think I bet this tonight, though. I think I bet this tonight. I did not expect to be on it. And if you look at the 6.5s, with the Broncos and with the Commanders, I mean, this is so much more appealing. So much more appealing. I mean, there's no that makes me. This makes me want to put a line through that many Broncos interest compared to this spot here. Al Cervix saying the stadium will be loud now. New home, new owner, new energy. I think there's truth to all of that. And then Bieniemy. I mean, okay.
Wait.
I'm okay. I think this is a possible move this evening. All right, let's roll on.